Hi, welcome back to the Spirit's Path. This is Dee, and today's tarot card of the day out of the Wildwood Tarot deck is the Ten of Arrows and Instruction. And when meditating upon this card today, the thought that came upon me was just a completion of a cycle, okay? And, we've crossed over into the Wildwood again, during a transition card, that Six of Arrows. And, I feel like this is more of you're done thinking about something, all right? This instruction card is passing on that skill set and knowledge and wisdom, to others. But yesterday's card, Seven of Vessels mourning, you're mourning something that we talked about it yesterday, letting go, all right? And in order to let go of something, you have to really block it out of your mind. I mean, you can let go of something by handing something to somebody else and letting it go. You can cut that cord, with somebody that you don't want to, be a part of. Just don't communicate with them, and just move forward. And this is a forward-moving card, but it's also a completion of a cycle, like I said. And, with the card from yesterday, that Seven of Vessels mourning, letting things go, letting things die off, the instruction that this is telling me about is it's completing that thought process. Because Arrows is all about logic and reasoning. And when you stop giving something energy, it's going to die off, okay? I mean, look at plants, right? You stop watering them, what's going to happen? They're going to wither, all right? If you stop working on a process at work because now it's in you, okay, you understand, I just need to do this, and this, you're not giving life to that process. You're giving life to, doing the thing that you're doing, okay? You're no longer thinking. You're letting your muscle memory, take through and do things. And that's kind of what this card is about as well. It's instructing and communicating that skill, in new ways to another generation. He's got his hand on the bottom of this youngster's elbow, showing him how to, aim correctly. And we always need to aim correctly in moving forward in our future. Sometimes we aim good, sometimes we don't aim good. But in those times that we don't aim good, it's in the past. We need to let that go. We can't hold on to it. All right. And we look at those new ways of saying, this is the way we're going to do things, moving forward. The fox is still down here asking you, where's that opportunity you're seizing in this situation? What are the details? Are you moving, let's move slowly through this process. And when you can let go of stuff, things, emotions, thought processes, and at first it's hard. It's hard when you're first learning something, because it's difficult. It's not, you're not used to it. But as the days go by, it gets easier and easier and easier. And that old relationship, we talked about it yesterday, that you had 5 years ago that's still bothering you, you let it go. And before long, you don't even start thinking about it anymore, because it's out of your mind. And when it does come up, you're like, why am I even thinking about this, moving forward? Letting go of the past, focusing on today, you're able to focus on the new skills. And when that thought process from the past comes up, you're like, no, I'm moving on. I've got, it opens up that area of, having something else come in to replace it. And when you can interact with others in a new social circle, in a new work setting, in a new environment, all right, you're making a conscious decision to, one, let go of what's holding you back in the past, but also to bring on that wisdom and knowledge of learning something new, of learning how to work with different coworkers, of learning how to understand new processes through instruction from a teacher or from your coworkers. Because not everybody teaches the same. You know, here this gentleman, he probably learned it from, you know, from his dad, and he's passing on those skills. You know, but this student, you know, maybe he's taking that hands-on approach, but he's also taking that computer learning approach where he's, you know, he's watching a YouTube video, say, to understand, you know, the proper form that he needs to have with his feet or something like that. And he's able to, you know, take on that, you know, the student's able to take on that new learning, okay? They couldn't do that, though, if they were holding on to old stuff, right? Going back to the old muscle memory and form. So, you know, when you learn new things from coworkers, when you learn new things from, you know, different relationships, all right, you gain some knowledge and wisdom that can help you move forward. And then you can teach others that knowledge and wisdom, you know, as you get older. Teaching that lore, teaching, you know, the processes on how to do things. You know, if you've got a great teacher, they're going to, you know, do the show, do, act steps. They're going to show you how to do it. Then they're going to have, you know, then they're going to do it. Then they're going to have you do it. And then you're going to be doing it on your own. It's a 4-step process, but you have to have that repetition of what's going on so you can understand it. That gift of instruction is so vital in our culture. I mean, when we, you know, start teaching our children, we start teaching them at a younger age. You know, there are people now reading to their, you know, to the babies in the womb, you know, and that may have happened in the past. I don't know. You know, I wasn't there. But yet, you know, you've got these gifted children, you know, being born, and just their knowledge is just, you know, they're like super sponges. They're just sucking all this stuff in. You know, they're learning math a lot easier. They're learning how to write easier, you know, a lot earlier. And it's all based on that instruction from the parents. It's all based on that instruction in their school systems. So that way, you know, when it comes time for college and things on that nature, they're ready for it. Are they ready for life? You know, if you're stuck in a building all the time, you know, learning stuff, and you're not outside playing, you know, communicating with others in a different social atmosphere, then that can be kind of tough. But if you can put all that into a perspective and give them a well-rounded education and social interaction, you know, education, morals, all right, you know, kindness, things of that nature, values, then, you know, those people, you know, those kids grow up to learn those lessons that you're trying to teach them. And at the same time, they're learning to let go of the past, because they realize that now is the time to move forward. Now is the time to live. Don't live in the past with what's going on. And when they get a certain age, then drama starts happening, anxiety starts happening. All right, and you have to teach your children, you have to teach others to, you know, shut the noise out. Let it go. It's not serving you. It's not doing you, you know, any good. It's wasting your energy. It's lowering your vibration, right? And when you can teach aspects of that on spirit and universe, right? God, you know, being there for you. It gives you that peace of mind. It gives you that peace of completion, that, hey, I'm at one with the universe. I'm at one with shooting this arrow, you know, to hit that target. I'm at one with, you know, the teacher teaching me things. And you can learn a great many lessons just from watching the animals. Their curiosity, you know, how they're gathering things for the winter, how they're interacting with nature, how they communicate amongst each other to let them know, you know, hey, there's an adversary, an enemy in this area that could, you know, possibly hunt you down and eat you. Everything that's going on in the world, we can learn from. You can learn from the past, and you can learn from the present and apply it to the future to make your life better. But you need to let go of stuff in order to move forward. You need to take on that humble experience of being instructed. Or in this case, maybe you're the instructor, right? Taking on that childlike curiosity to help somebody out. Showing them the path moving forward on their spiritual path. So that's today's card of the day out of the Wildwood Tarot deck, the Ten of Arrows and Instruction. Hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, share it with others, give me a thumbs up. And this is D for Spirit's Path. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care, God bless, stay safe everybody.